What it do to everybody on here? I told you I was gonna get back on here and talk to y'all. Oh, what you think I was a liar? So what's going on with everybody? I know my fans gonna post this on YouTube. Live from my website. So yeah, this episode is a special one. So yeah, I have grandparents and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna highlight y'all. I'll just get into the episode. I ain't gonna stall. So my love life and career is in a parallel universe, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna say. Shout out to Netflix because my biopic trilogy is coming, so definitely excited for that. So yeah, that's just let's get into this episode. So I was in my car, right? Because I was on my way to go see Jenna Ortega because I needed to talk to her, and it was time for her to come home anyway for a few days and rest up. So I was coming to get her, and also we had to pick up the babies, right? So Chris Brown, he calls me, and he like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "What's up, man? What's going on?" So he's like, "Look, I already know your wife tnerra is 100% off limit, so I definitely wouldn't disrespect you on that level. But I was, looking at your other wife, Jenna Ortega Sims, like her resume and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? She hot, you know what I'm saying? She the one right now, like you the one too, but you a boy. I couldn't ask you for this favor. But I did get in contact with her and I talked to her about her being in my music video, being like the leading girl in my music video. But she told me that she had to talk it over with you and that I even had to talk it over with you, like to get your permission, because she didn't want to be doing things behind your back. So I'm asking you, like as a man, I'm asking you if it's okay. I'm like, yo, why you want to fuck with all my damn wives, yo? He's like, come on, man. You called me and asked me for that favor. I ain't call you and say, let me dance for your wife, tnerra. You the one that called me. You asked me for that favor. I ain't asked you. I'm like, yeah, I called you. Yeah, you right. He's like, look, man, I just need you to return the favor for me. I did that favor for you with your wife, tnerra. So I just need a favor where, if it's okay for me to like put her in this music video. I'm like, my wife, Jenna Ortega. Um, Look, let me tell you something, man. I gotta be there. I have to be there on set while she filming. And how long is this process of her filming this music video? So he like, it's gonna be a 2 day process. So yeah, it's gonna be just 2 days. So I'm like 2 days. Um, I'm gonna talk to my wife about that. I'm gonna talk to Jenna about it. But I gotta be there though. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I'm gonna let my wife do something like that and I ain't there. So he like, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I agree. I'm like, you agree? He's like, yeah, I definitely agree. So I'm like, yeah, well, we'll see. So I get off the phone with him, right? And as soon as I get off the phone with him, my grandmother, who had passed away, but over the years, she came back as a teenager and she became like my guardian angel. So I had put this device on her where she don't kind of like, she don't really look like a ghost when people see her. Like all that stuff you see on TV ain't real. Like she don't really look like a ghost, but she's able to touch things, like to pick up things and stuff like that, and not have it fall through her hands. Now that part is true. So my grandmother had, came to see me because I ain't see her in a while. So she's like, yeah, it's me. It's your grandmother. Hey. I'm like, Grandma, so what you doing here? She's like, I'm here to check up on my grandson. It's time that I spend time with my grandbaby. And I heard that I got some great grandbabies, like four great granddaughters. I'm like, yeah, you do got some granddaughters. So she like, yeah, and I brought some visitors too with me. I'm like, you did? What visitors did you bring? So she was like, say hello to your grandfather. I'm like, My granddaddy? You that's granddaddy. Why the hell he look like me? So she's like, well, he do. He favor you. He don't look all the way like you, but he definitely favor you. You mean you look like him? So I'm like, hey, granddaddy. So he's like, my grandboy. I'm like, you young. You're a teenager like grandma. So he's like, yeah, I sure am. So look at you, my grandson, the pop celebrity star, movie star. So happy. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm like, thank you, granddaddy, but damn, what the hell? She's like, well, I got another surprise. You better watch your mouth. I'm like, well, what's the other surprise, grandma? So she's like, well, this is my mother. I'm like, that's your mother? So she's like, yeah, that's my mother. Well, she's a teenager, but that's my mom. That's your great great grandmother. I'm like, get oh hell, what the hell? So okay, all three of my grandparents, they're dead, but they're in my back seat of my damn car, and I'm used to my grandmother coming to visit me, because I really don't have a normal life, so I'm used to her coming to visit me. But then I see my granddaddy, who I haven't seen in a long time. And y'all know, my grandfather lost his memory. When he got a certain age, he lost his memory. He couldn't, remember who his grandkids was, who his mom was. He just couldn't remember shit. He was slowly just really losing his memory. And, he was still my grandfather at the end of the day. I still loved him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he ended up losing his memory. He stayed alive for a long time, but then he ended up passing away or whatever. But I ain't never thought I really was gonna see him again. And he looked so good being young, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So I'm like, all right, y'all wanna take a ride with me? Grandma, how long you gonna be? How long y'all gonna be here, granddaddy? So they was like, well, we're gonna be here for a little while. You need us. I mean, we know that, the family ain't been supporting you, but we have definitely been supporting you. So my grandmother was like, I am very disappointed in your mother. I'm like, okay, well, that makes two of us. All right, look, well, I guess y'all can come with me, man. I gotta go meet one of my wives at this set and talk to her and go pick her up. So she was like, well, you're gonna have to explain to us when she see us in this car. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll be able to explain it to my best to abilities. I'll be able to explain it. So I remember I go to the set. I'm like, y'all stay in this car. Do not go nowhere. So they're like, well, where are we going to go? We're ghosts. I'm like, okay. They're like, we'll stay right here. We won't go nowhere. So all I remember is I was tripping because my grandmother and grandfather, that's my mother parents. Like that's their parents, So I was pretty much tripping off that shit. And then I never really seen my grandmother mother before. I never really seen her before. So when I seen her as a teenager too, she looked so beautiful. Like she looked amazing. I'm like, goodness gracious, I see where all these good looks come from. So I just remember I get out the car and I go see Jenna Ortega. They're like, David, sir, how you doing, sir? I'm like, man, quit it with all that damn sir. So I'm like, do I look fucking old to you? So they're like, no, sir. I'm like, and you still saying sir? So they're like, we sorry. You here for Jenna Ortega, right? Your wife. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for my wife. They're like, she's in her trailer, ready for you to pick her up. So I'm like, okay. So I go in there. I'm like, hey, Jenna's like, hi, baby. I'm like, hey, Chris Brown called me about some music video he wants you to be in. You want to do it? She's like, you know what? I really thought about that shit, because I really, the one thing I don't want to do is piss off your damn fans. You know what I'm saying? Because your fans, they see me in a fucking Chris Brown music video. They're going to be like, oh, Chris Brown and Jenna Ortega are dating. They always assume shit. You know what I'm saying? Why can't a music video just be a fucking music video? You know what I'm saying? Like everything got to be they dating. When I did a music video with a certain singer, they thought we was dating in real life. Like everything I fucking do, I'm in a real relationship with this fucking person. Like goddamn. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying. She's like, like I really don't want to piss your fans off, and I really don't want them thinking something that ain't really fucking true. So it's like the decision is up to you. Like if you really okay with this, then I'll do it. But if you're not David, then I won't do it. Just simple as that, which is why I told him to call you. Cause I'm not gonna go behind your back and do the fucking music video, and then you see the fucking music video airing on the internet, and you just like, how? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like that's totally disrespect to you. You know what I'm saying? I would never do that. So I'm the one that told Chris Brown to call you. I'm like, yeah, but how the fuck he get your damn number? So she was like, he didn't have my number. He called one of my friends, and I was talking on their phone. So we don't really necessarily have each other number. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, yeah. So David, and you can look through my damn phone if you want to, David, if you think I'm lying to you. So I'm like, you can change his name to a different name. She's like, David, you know his phone number. You his friend. So you would know if I'm fucking lying to you or not. You can go through my phone. I'm that confident that nothing is going on between us. Like, I'm telling you the truth. So I'm like, look, the only way that I'll go along with this shit is if I'm there for them 2 days while you film me. She's like, deal. Well, you can definitely be there. I'm like, now, what is the concept of this music video? Are you gonna be half fucking naked? Like, what's gonna be? What is? She's like, well, I don't know. I mean, he did say I would have to be in lingerie. So I'm like, so he says you had to be in lingerie. She's like, yes, he did say that. So I'm like, she's like, David, if you are not comfortable with that, just let me know. Just tell me. Because David, I really don't want to do something that's gonna piss you off in the long run. So just tell me right now. Tell me right now to my damn face, because if I fucking do this and you hang this shit over my damn head like for the rest of my damn life, I'm never gonna hear the end of it. So just tell me now if you want me to do it or not. Because if you don't, I'm like, of course I don't want you to fucking do it. You're my damn wife, but you are a damn celebrity and a damn actress like I am. So I mean, I guess I don't have no choice. Like you do have a choice, David. You have a choice. I'm letting you know you have a choice. I'm your wife. If you don't want your wife in there, just say, I don't want my wife in the fucking music video. Okay? And then I will relay a message to my friend and be like, you can tell Chris Brown that I'm not going to be able to do it. So just tell me right now. I'm right. I'm being like, David, you don't have to act like you're pressured into saying fucking yes. If you don't want me to do it, if you feel like you're going to regret this shit in the end, just tell me the truth. So I'm like, she's like, David, I'm like, I don't want you in lingerie. You can do it, but I don't want you in lingerie. So they're going to have to get a damn stunt double and put your face on the girl body. But I damn sure do not want to see you in lingerie. And I damn sure don't want him grabbing on your ass and shit. So that is definitely out of the fucking question. She's like, you can call him and tell him. So is that a yes for the music video? So I'm like, yeah, you can do it, but I gotta be there. She's like, deal. So I called Chris Brown up. He's like, yo, what's up? So I'm like, yo, Chris, my wife Jenna can do the music video, but I gotta be on set. Like I said, he was like, no problem. Any more requests? I'm like, my wife is not gonna be in no damn lingerie. So you're gonna have to get a damn stunt double girl to get in fucking lingerie and paste my wife's face on that girl body. But there's no way in hell that I'm letting you grab and touch on my fucking wife's ass. And I'm standing right the fuck there letting you do it. So he like, all right, got you. Okay, that's no problem. I'm like, all right, so you good with that? He was like, you gonna be right there on set. What the fuck am I gonna get away with? So he's like, yo, we cool, y'all. Me and friend, y'all. And that's why I called you. Like, yo, I understand. Yo, that's your wife. Y'all got a family together. Like, I get it. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, yo, and stop calling me about my fucking wives too. Let this be the last time you call me about my fucking wife. He's like, yo, you called me for the fucking favor. I'm like, yo, all right. Yeah, all right. So I get off the phone with him, whatever, right? And I just remember Jenna like, David, you still can say no. I mean, even though you said all that stuff, like, David, you really gonna be uncomfortable about this. Because, David, I want you to really think about it. I'm like, it's something telling me you want me to say no. She was like, because, David, I'm really genuinely thinking about it. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, because, David, if I fucking start in this man's video, I'm not going to hear the end of it from your fans. I know they gonna be ripping my ass apart. I already had to like I had to fucking disable my fucking account on Twitter. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. She's like, David, I was already getting bullied on Twitter. If I fucking do this fucking video, with Chris Brown, I'ma fucking have to delete the whole Instagram account because they gonna fucking bully me on there. So it's like, David, I'm just not going. I'm already not hearing the end of it right now. So David, I just want you to think really smart about this. So I'm like, she's like, because David, people gonna be, I know what they're gonna be calling me, a trifling bitch and all this stuff. I already know what they're gonna be calling me, David. Turn my ass a new one. So it's like, David, unless you tell your fans that you are 100% okay with this shit before I start doing the fucking video, let them know, like, I'm fully aware that my wife is doing this music video with Chris Brown. I'm on set right now with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them know, like, document that you are here with me and I'm not doing this shit behind your back. So I'm like, So she's like, David, why are you saying it like that? I'm like, saying it like what? She's like, I don't know, like you don't trust me or something. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, the way you said is like you think I'm doing something with Chris Brown or something. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I know that look, David. I know that look when you don't trust a girl. Like, I know that look. David, you think I'm fucking Chris Brown? I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, he called me out the fucking blue asking me to put you in a fucking music video. So she's like, David, I swear on everything that nothing is going on with me and Chris Brown. I'm telling you, I am not cheating on you. You can believe me or not, but I'm not, David. I'm not doing anything with him at all. I promise you. So she's like, David, don't you think if I was doing something with him that we wouldn't want you on set? Like, I'm like, y'all can be okay with that, but still be doing things behind my back. I haven't seen you in like weeks. It's been a while since I've seen you. And she's like, so you're trying to say because you didn't see me in weeks that I've been fucking around? Is that what you're saying, David? David, I've been fucking working and signing fucking contracts. David, I'm not cheating on you. I have no time to do that shit. And Chris Brown is currently on fucking tour. Like, are you really listening to yourself right now, David? Like, I get it that I did fuck up before. I believe, that's true. I fucked up before. And I get why you so paranoid. But David, I did nothing while I was gone. Okay? I've been working, doing everything I told you I was going to be doing. I'm like, where the fuck is our baby? She's like, with my parents, David. We got to go pick them up. So I'm like, So you ain't been seeing your baby? She's like, David, don't do that. Don't do that because you ain't been seeing them either. So I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? She's like, you've been so fucking busy being a father to the fucking babies you and tnerra have. You have no time for our babies no more. I'm like, I do have time for our babies. She's like, oh, now you do. I'm like, okay, now I do. She's like, David, you know that you could have seen them anytime you wanted to. My fucking parents would not let you not see them. You know that. They would not keep you from your daughters. So, David, stop acting like I'm the one with the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I was working, I was still seeing my fucking kids. I'm like, okay, and I wasn't. She's like, you wasn't. So I'm like, I'm going to go see them now, and they're going to see a lot of me. It's like, David, okay. I'm like, look, I get it. You mad. It's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at you because you really think I'm cheating on you, and I'm not. And that is really pissing me the fuck off. You want to know what else is pissing me off? While I got you here, even though we leaving together, you want to know what else that's pissing me off? I'm like, what? So she like, what is this shit? I'm like, what is what? She's like, this right here, David, look at it. I'm like, I'm not, what is that shit? It's like a cartoon version of me and Chloe. So she was like, yeah, Chloe Bailey released a fucking cartoon series about y'all love life on Peacock. I'm like, she did what? So she's like, yeah, Chloe Bailey. She did a fucking cartoon series of you and her, and it's on fucking Peacock right now. A full fucking season. And it's definitely X-rated. So I'm like, I did not know anything about this shit. She's like, oh, so you said that Chloe was over you. This don't look like she over you, David. Do it? I'm like, I haven't even seen the show. I didn't know the shit was out. It's like everybody's talking about it on the internet. How the fuck could you miss it? I'm like, look, I did not know that Chloe Bailey did this shit. Okay, I will talk to her about it. She's like, why? It's a big hit. Everybody love it. They thought that you was okay with the shit. I'm like, look, when girls come out with things about my name or my name attached to it, I know nothing about this shit. Okay, I'm just as fucking clueless as you is. So she's like, you don't know that, you don't know nothing about it. I'm like, I don't know anything about it. She's like, nothing at all. I'm like, I know anything. I don't know nothing about that. Okay, Jenna. She's like, you promise? I'm like, yeah, I promise. She's like, well, I'm not doing nothing with Chris Brown, honey. And yeah, you might want to talk to Chloe Bailey about this shit because it's definitely rubbing me the wrong way. I'm like, did you look at it? She's like, a few damn episodes, and I ain't gonna lie, it is a good ass fucking cartoon show. It is pretty damn good. But that ain't the point. Like, you're my husband, and she's making a cartoon series about you. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, well, I didn't know anything about that, and I will definitely talk to her about that. She's like, you can't get it taken down. It's a Peacock original. So I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is that supposed to mean? She's like, it's supposed to mean that it can't come down because it's part of Peacock. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, well, look, baby, I'm sorry that I accused you about the whole Chris Brown shit. It's like, David, it's no problem. I mean, I just can't believe that you really think that I would fucking do that to you. And like, first of all, I have, and this is another thing. This is what made me delete my, Twitter. I deleted my Twitter because not only were they bullying me online, but they were bullying me saying that I was cheating on you with, a cast member from Wednesday and all this shit that wasn't true. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, first of all, they sounded like I can't have friends. They're making it seem like I can't have friends that's males. And it's like every male that's my friend, they want something from me sexually. I'm like, they probably do. She's like, and even if they do, even if their motives is like that, even if their motives is, I like Jenna Ortega in a way where I want to fuck her, they're not going to actually act out on that shit because number one, I'm not going to go for that shit. Like, it's but so far that you can go with me. I'm not that fucking, like, easy. Like, people think I'm that easy. Like, I'm not. I'm not a stupid girl. So I'm like, All right, well, come on, baby. It's like, wait, you don't want to have sex with me? See, I know when you mad, David. When you mad, you don't want to fuck me. So you don't want to have sex with me. So I had sex with Jenna. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good and everything like that. And I believe Jenna. I believe that she wasn't doing anything with Chris Brown. I believe her. So we walk up to the car and Jenna like, we got to pick up the babies before we go home. Can we get something to eat so I can feed the babies? I'm like, yeah, of course. So she's like, oh, here, take my phone so you can go through it because I know you probably still wondering. So you can't really see in my car because it's tinted. So when Jenna got in the car, she seen my grandparents all in the back seat or whatever. So she's like, David, who the fuck is these teenagers in the back seat of your car? I'm like, you can see them? She's like, yeah, I can see them. Who the fuck is them? So I'm like, oh, that's my grandmother. That's my grandmother, my mother's grandmother. That's my grandfather, and that's my great great grandmother, my grandmother, mother. She was like, what? How is that fucking possible? Did you just say these are your grandparents? These two right here? I'm like, all three of them are my grandparents. She's like, yeah, I know that. That's your great great grandmother. You say that. But these two right here, you said that this is your grandmother and your grandfather, which means that this would be your mother's fucking parents, right? How is that possible? They teenagers. So I'm like, they did. She's like, what? Well, how in the fuck can I see them if they did? I'm like, because my grandmother, she came back years ago from the dead and she was a teenager. I put a device on her where she is able to touch stuff. Like my grandfather, I just seen him. Like she brought him with her, when she came today and her mother. But they can't touch anything, but you can see them. So she's like, so which one can touch shit? I'm like, my grandmother. So she was like, your grandmother. So I'm like, yeah. She's like, and that's your grandfather. I'm like, yeah, she's like, he look just like your ass. Like, I mean, like he favor you, but in a different way. Like you can tell it, oh shit, this is some weird ass shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, damn, what the fuck? I'm like, what? She's like, your great grandmother kind of favor you too. All of them look like you. That's weird. So I'm like, yeah, they my fucking grandparents. So she was like, all right, God damn it. David, I'm sitting up front. I ain't sitting in the back. I'm like, you never sit in the back. She was like, yeah, I know, but that shit is weird. Like, I, mm. So we going to go get, our babies or whatever like that. She's like, is they going to sit in the car? I'm like, yeah, they going to sit in the car. So she's like, all right, cool. So we go in there to get our daughters. And Jenna's mother was like, Jenna Ortega, come on in here. I got to talk to you, girl. So she's like, what's going on with you on this internet stuff? She's like, people is accusing me of cheating on David and, messing around with somebody, from this set of Wednesday. So she's like, are you? She's like, no. She's like, then what was that video I seen of you on Instagram on your storyline? She's like, what video? It's like, the video you posted with you, like, swinging around on the male, on one of the male's back from the cast of Wednesday. You was like on his back. She was like, we were just having fun. Like, so you said I'm sleeping with him because we just playing around on set? Oh my God, Mom, okay, where's my damn daughters? Because I'm not cheating on David. So she's like, okay, all right. She's like, I'm not cheating on David. And I don't even know about doing this Chris Brown music video. She's like, so are you going to do it? She was like, I don't think you should do it. I don't think that's a good idea because look at what the fuck these damn people doing right now online. If you do this music video with Chris Brown, do you know what David fans gonna do to your ass? They're gonna fucking tear your ass a new one. She's like, I literally just said that to David. She was like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to do it. I mean, right now, you just need to let everything die down. It's too damn hot for you right now. So she was like, you think I shouldn't do it? She's like, I don't think you should do it. And if it involves you wearing a damn bikini and stuff, I definitely don't think you should do it because you know how David fans think. You know where they mind gonna shoot to. It don't even matter if David even say he okay with it. It don't matter. Even if he made a video saying that he's on set watching all this shit, you know that they not gonna care about that. They still gonna rip your ass a new one. So she like, I don't think I should do it either. You know what? I'm gonna just tell my friend to tell Chris Brown that I can't do it. So she's like, I think that's a smart damn idea because if you do that music video, you ain't gonna hear the end of it. Your career is better. See, you got a good career right now. You getting booked for gigs, you getting booked for movies and all types of stuff. You do that music video and them damn gigs gonna stop. They're gonna end your career. The David fans come by the truckload. They like the Titanic. They come like a big ass cruise ship. Like millions of them are fucking girls. If you really do that music video, they gonna end you. I mean, everything about you. See, like, Mom, I got it. I get it. I get the fucking picture. They gonna ruin me. She's like, yeah, they gonna ruin you. I mean, like, actually ruin your ass. So she's like, okay, I get it. Where's my daughters? So she's like, David got them. They downstairs. David, you don't hear David? She's like, yeah, I hear him. Ma, I gotta go. So I'm like, you want? She's like, I'm not doing that music video with Chris Brown. I'm like, you know, it's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm like, and why is that? It's like, because David, because I don't want your fans to, no, I know how your fans gonna get if they see that music video. I'm like, what's wrong with the music video? I mean, like, what is gonna be that bad that's gonna be in this music video that my fans gonna tear you a new one? It's like, David, I already know, even though we're gonna use stunt doubles, I just can already hear the type of shit your fans gonna say. And it's like, I'm not fully prepared for that shit, David. I'm like, okay, all right. She's like, I'm just not. I mean, I really don't want them thinking that because they already think I'm cheating on you right now. They already think that. So if I do this music video, that's giving them more to talk about. I'm like, okay, but when do you care about what my fans think? Look, I'm gonna let you do this music video. It's like, David, I'm like, we already told him. So look, you can't go back on your word now, and I don't feel like calling his ass. So look, you gonna go through with this shit. We gonna use stunt devils, and it is what it is. Like you ain't gonna talk to your fans. I'm like, I'll talk to him. She's like, David, no, you're not. You want something that you want them to turn me a new way. You want them to end my career. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm gonna talk to him. I promise you. The first day that you start shooting, I promise you, I will talk to him. She's like, you promise? I'm like, I promise. But I gotta be there for. She's like, David, I want you there. I'm like, okay. She's like, I definitely want you there. So that means I don't even gotta get in no bikinis. I'm like, you don't gotta get in no bikinis because you ain't wearing no fucking bikinis around them. She's like, okay, you right. So okay. So I'm like, yeah, so you can wear regular clothes around his ass, but you ain't wearing no fucking bikinis. So she's like, okay. So I just remember like, all right, you ready? I got the babies right now. She's like, you got them? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I forgot. Hold on. I know it's quiet as hell. Hold on. So I just remember, she was like, Jenna was like looking at the one of the babies. I think it was David Jr. And no, it was Star Sims, and she had some cuts on her. So Jenna was like, "Wait, what's this shit on her arm?" So her mother was like, she was scratching herself. She's like, she not, Star never scratched herself. So what do you mean she was scratching herself? She was like, she was just scratching herself. She's like, no, mom, these don't look like a baby did this shit. Mom, this look like a fucking grown up did it. She's like, so you thinking that I scratched your daughter intentionally? She's like, I don't know because these look like fresh. These look very fresh. She's like, well, I didn't do that. They're my grandbabies. I wouldn't hurt them. So she's like, yeah, okay, all right. So she get in the car. She's like, yeah, I'm not bringing them back over here because that is weird as shit. You see these damn scratch marks on her? Look at this shit. I'm like, yeah, I see it. She's like, and she gonna tell me she was scratching herself. You believe that shit? I'm like, no. She was like, that's whatever. She was definitely lying. I don't even know why my mother would fucking lie because that's weird. Because she, first of all, Star never scratches her fucking self. So I already knew that was a lie. So, that was weird for her to just say, oh, she was scratching herself. What the fuck? What type of fucking idiot do you take me for? You think I'm that type of asshole? David, we gotta get some food before we go to the house. So I'm like, yeah, I know. She was like, um, what do I, David? Oh, I want to get some McDonald's. I'm like, McDonald's. Like, you know what? Let's get some KFC. I'm like, Jenna, will you make your damn mind up? She's like, I am. So I get her some, KFC or whatever, and then we go back to the mansion. So I remember when we go in there, I'm like, tnerra. She's like, yeah. I'm like, why you sound like a zombie? You good, girl? See, last night, girl, I was beating it up. So I come in the room and the nurses, my personal nurses, is checking out tnerra and checking out Jasmine. So I'm like, what's going on with them two? So they like, David, they both got the flu. I'm like, the flu? But I was making love with tnerra last night. She ain't seem like she had it. She was like, I was trying to hide it, David. I'm like, you was trying to hide it. It's like, it just got worse, baby. I don't feel good. I'm like, it's like, David, I don't want the babies around. You got to take them with you today. I'm like, I got to take them with me. She's like, David, wait, what's going I gotta be hallucinating right now. Who is these three teenagers standing in front of my face, David? Who is these fucking people? So I'm like, I'll tell you after the nurses leave. She's like, your personal nurses don't know about your not normal life. They should already know that you do weird shit. I'm like, yeah, but I'll tell you when they go into their office. So I'm like, what's going on with my wife tnerra? So she's like, she just has the flu, and that could be from, you know, Well, it could be from a lot of things, when you go into, because y'all been going to events, so I'm pretty sure she probably was shaking some hands. Tnerra was like, I was, David. And I told you, see, that is exactly why I didn't want nobody up in our fucking daughters' faces, because now I'm sick. Look at me, David. I can't even get out of the fucking bed, let alone give you pussy. Wait, Jenna Ortega, you back? She's like, yeah, I'm back. She was like, oh shit. So she's like, David, I'm gonna stay in the beach house. So I'm like, you always like, yeah, I'm taking the babies in the beach house. I don't want them to be exposed to all this. I'm like, but it's a mansion. You can go in any room. Like, it's like, yeah, but germs travel, David. So I'm like, yeah, they do. Okay, you can go in the beach house. She's like, yeah, it's only right across from the damn mansion. So Jenna Ortega goes into the beach house. So with our daughters or whatever. And so my personal nurse was like, look, we already got some medicines and stuff set up for your wife tnerra and her friend Jasmine. But she is right about this, David. It's not a good idea for the babies to be exposed to their sickness because they might end up sick too and end up with the flu. So I'm like, oh shit. So I guess I gotta take the babies with me. She's like, yeah, I guess you do, David. I mean, you are the father. So I remember they leave and go into their office, and they were like, David, are you gonna fucking tell me who is these damn teenagers standing in front of my face? Who the fuck is these people? So I'm like, that's my grandmother, and that's my grandfather, and that's my great great grandmother, my grandmother's mother. She was like, so Tanera is looking at me and looking at them and looking at me. He's like, David, I gotta be fucking sick. Cause no way you just said what I thought you just fucking said. So I'm like, that is what I just said. So she's like, David, you wanna know how that's not your fucking grandparents? That would have to mean that they're your fucking mother parents. They're fucking teenagers. I'm like, yeah, they came back from the dead. My grandmother Ben came back from the dead a long time ago. She became my guardian angel. As a teenager, I put a device on her where she can touch stuff. But the other two can't, like my grandfather and my great grandmother. So she's like, I'm really fucking confused right now. Like, who you say can touch stuff? I'm like, my grandmother. She's like, I gotta be seeing double. Like all of them look like you. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, they favor your ass. God damn. Yeah, okay, I can see the damn resemblance. Oh shit, it's uncanny. So I'm like, what? She's like, you like your fucking grandparents. I'm like, okay. She's like, what are they doing here? Why are they back from the dead? What the fuck are they doing here? So I'm like, well, my grandmother's my guardian angel. She's like, so what did she do? Follow your ass around? I'm like, yeah. She's like, so what is your fucking grandfather doing here? And your great grandfather? She was like, and your great great grandmother. So I'm like, well, my grandmother brought them with me. Well, brought them, here to see me. So she's like, oh, they ain't your guardian angels? I'm like, no. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll take the babies because I got to make some runs anyway. Can your great grandmother stay here with my wife and her friend? So she like, yeah, sure. She's like, Mom, can you stay here with my grandbaby wife and his well his wife friend? So she was like, yeah, yeah, of course. So hold on, I'm trying to get some space on here, but this shit keep on acting up. Hold on, I got y'all. Oh shit, that already says what it says. Alright, so hold on. Hold on, y'all. What the fuck? Y'all, come on. This shit is acting real stupid right now. Alright, so yep. I know it's quiet as shit. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just shit. Really? Alright, I don't know what to do because this shit acting stupid. Hold on. Alright. Yo, I'm sorry I kept y'all waiting because I was trying to make some room on here. I don't know what the fuck going on with this phone. But anyway, so my great great grandmother, she was watching my wife tnerra and my wife, friend Jasmine, because they got the flu or whatever. So I had to take my four daughters with me while I make this run. First run I gotta make, so I gotta go see Chloe Bailey. Now Chloe Bailey made a cartoon series about me, which I had no idea. Which would explain I'm getting all these mean text messages from Zendaya. She always like sending me mean shit for some reason. So, I answer the phone. I'm like, Zendaya, what is it? She's like, so this how you gonna do me? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, so you got a cartoon series with Chloe Bailey? Huh? The Adventures of Your Sex Life? I'm like, what the hell? Look, man, I have nothing to do. What the fuck are you talking about? So she's like, well, it looked just like you as a cartoon character. I'm like, look, is it my fucking voice? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, if I'm not voicing the fucking character, obviously she did it without my fucking consent. I'm gonna go take care of it. She's like, it's a Peacock original. I'm like, why the fuck is everybody saying that shit? She's like, because that means you can't get it taken down. I'm like, yeah, that might be the fucking case. But you know what? I'm still gonna talk to her about it. She's like, what is that gonna fucking do? You gonna talk to her about it and what? It's still gonna be up there? So I'm like, Zendaya, I'm gonna take care of it. She's like, how you gonna take care of it? Because even if you talk to her about it, it's still gonna fucking be up there. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you right. I'm gonna come and see you at now I'm done with Chloe. She's like, you better come and see me. And I'm serious. I'm like, okay. So now look, I remember, I called up Erica, because Erica's my baby. I'm like, Erica. It's like, yeah, baby. I'm like, hey, what's your little pretty chocolate ass doing? It's like, I think I might be in my lingerie. Oh, I got a t-shirt on too. I'm like, you do? It's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you gonna send me some photos? She's like, you already know that I'm gonna send you some photos. But you never let me know when you get them. When I send them to you, they be really sexy photos too. You don't never let me know you get them. I'm like, oh, I'll let you know I get them. She's like, what, when you come over here and have sex with me? Have your way with me? I'm like, yeah, I definitely let you know that I get them. It's like, I love that. I'm like, I know you do. It's like, all right, well, I will see you in a few hours because you are coming over here, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming over. She's like, all right. I told one of the cast members that we moving to Paris. We moving the whole production to Paris because you got the role to play Little Richie. I'm like, oh, you told them? She's like, yeah. They don't believe it. I mean, they believe that you got the role to play Little Richie, but they don't believe that we moving the whole set to Paris. Like they don't believe it. I'm like, I already talked to the producers and stuff. Yeah, we is moving to Paris. She's like, they better be packed in 2 weeks, cause if they ain't packed, then they just ain't going. So I'm like, yeah, well, I guess that's gonna be what it is. She's like, all right, well, I'm gonna send you the pictures, and this time, let me know you got them. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I go see Chloe, right? I'm like, Grandma, can you help me with the babies? Cause Grandma, she the only one that can really touch stuff. My grandfather can't really touch anything, He can just walk around and stuff like that. So he just, she getting like the babies, helping me with the babies. And I'm like, thank you, Grandma. She's like, no problem. I cannot believe these are your grandbabies. I'm like, these are my daughters. She's like, yeah, I meant to say these are my grandbabies. I'm like, oh yeah, these are your grandbabies. So she's like, they are some beautiful babies. Y'all made some beautiful babies. So I'm like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I sound like Elvis Presley right now. So she's like, I love Elvis Presley. I'm like, you do, Grandma? She's like, I do love Elvis Presley. He is so gorgeous. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad you like Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley love you too. So she was like, I don't know about that. I'm like, you seen him? I mean, do you see him? Because, she's like, yeah, I mean, he's dead and stuff, but no, I never really ran into Elvis. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, well, we got to go in here. I got to talk to Chloe. So I knock on Chloe's door, and she opens the door. She's like, David, who the fuck is these damn teenagers? I'm like, can we come in? She's like, yeah, I guess. So I come in. She was like, who the fuck is these damn? I'm like, let's go in your room real quick. So we go in her room, and she's just like, David, who the fuck was those people? I'm like, they're my grandparents. She's like, David, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, they're my grandparents. Like, how are they your grandparents? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you just said that they're your grandparents. How are they your grandparents? I'm like, because they are. It's like, David, you're not explaining it to me. And first of all, you're not making any damn sense. I'm like, okay, they're my mother parents. She's like, and how are they your mother parents? Because if they were your mother parents, they'd be a lot older. I'm like, look, they died, but they came back from the dead as teenagers. She's like, now that make a little bit more sense. I'm like, dude, she's like, fuck no. David, how in the fuck can dead people come back from the dead? So I'm like, whoa, my grandmother did. She came back from the dead years ago and she became my guardian angel. And I gave her a device where she can touch stuff, which is why she was holding the babies. She was like, let me go out here and look at these motherfuckers real quick. So she goes out there and she's looking at my grandparents. She goes out there, she's looking at them. She's like, and then she's looking at me and she's like, damn, they do look like you. God damn, they look like you. Oh shit. Oh my god, it's uncanny. Okay, alright, I'm starting to see this shit. It's like real creepy. Oh my goodness, your grandparents came back from the dead. I'm like, yeah. She's like, that shit don't creep you out? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, your grand fucking mother is a teenager again. I'm like, yeah. She's like, and your grandfather looked like you, but in a different way. I'm like, yeah, so? So she's like, so that shit is creepy. Like beyond creepy. I'm like, okay, so I mean, what? Look, man, I see weird shit all the time. She's like, David, not weird shit like that. That shit is really fucking weird. I'm like, so what? I'm used to shit like this. So she's like, David, you bring dead people into my fucking house and you suspect me to just be okay with that shit. Now, what if I wanted you to fuck me? What y'all obviously fucking do. So I'm like, okay, she's like, what they gonna listen to you? You gonna fuck while your grandparents in here. So I'm like, they ain't gonna be listening at the door. They know about privacy, especially my grandmother. She's very understanding. So she's like, I am not fucking you while your grandparents are in my house. I'll fuck you in your truck. I'll let you fuck me in my truck. In your truck. I will go in your truck and let you fuck me there. But I am not fucking you while they are in here. So I'm like, all right, come on, let's go to my truck. Y'all stay in here. I ain't going nowhere. We just going to my truck for a minute. They're like, okay, grandson. So she's like, that is some weird shit. That is so fucking weird. Like, that is too fucking creepy. I'm like, what is creepy about it? She's like, every fucking thing. Like, all that shit is creepy. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, look, I get your concern. Like, I get that think this weird. It's like, David, it is weird. Y'all go into a fucking store together, y'all would look like siblings. I'm like, but the thing is that we not siblings. She's like, David, that is true. Y'all not siblings. But David, that is really fucking weird. Like, that is creepy as shit. And you said that you gave your grandmother a damn device where she can touch shit. I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh my God. Look, David, I know what you're here for about that cartoon series. I'm like, yeah, it's like, look, all right, let me just be real. Um, I didn't tell you about the cartoon series because I wanted it to be a surprise. And, we did a lot of stuff when we were dating. And I miss you. And I thought that we can get back together. I mean, take it slow. I miss you, and I'm hoping that you miss me too. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I miss you, it's like you do. I'm like, yeah, I miss you, I miss that thick ass. Like, that's all you miss is my thick ass. I'm like, oh, I miss a lot more than your thick ass. She's like, and what else do you miss? Just, you can tell me. So I'm like, oh, I miss kissing you, taking you out on dates. She's like, you miss all that? I'm like, yeah, I miss all that. I gotta tell you something though, baby. She's like, okay. I'm like, I'm gonna be playing Little Richie. She's like, Little Richie? Is that singer that sings like Tutti Frutti and shit? I'm like, yeah. She's like, wasn't he gay? I'm like, no, he actually wasn't gay. She's like, wait, so he wasn't gay? I'm like, no, he had girlfriends and stuff. She's like, he had girlfriends? I'm like, yeah. She was like, huh. Okay, so I mean, I'm not seeing the downside of this. I mean, that's a good thing. You playing Little Richie, like that's a good thing. So I'm like, yeah. She's like, so why? It sounds like that's like bad news or something. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be. I gotta move to Paris for like 2 years, and I gotta also learn how to play piano while I'm out there. We're shooting a movie in Paris. She's like, y'all filming a movie out there in Paris? You gotta fucking be out there for 2 whole years. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so what happens to me? I mean, I just bared my soul to you. I just made a cartoon series about us. What happens to us, David? I'm like, well, I mean, I could fly you out there. I don't know if you want to live out there for 2 years, but I could do that. She's like, okay, I would love that. I'm like, you would? It's like, yeah, I mean, because I mean, I'm about to go on tour in April. So I would definitely love to spend time with you. That would be, yeah, I would love that. I'm like, you was like, yeah. Because, I mean, even though I'll be on tour, I still can take breaks, I don't have to, like, go to every city all at one time, like, I can chop the tour up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you can? It's like, yeah, I mean, like, if I feel like I'm getting burnt out, and I'm performing too much and I need to rest my voice, then I'll take like 2 or 3 weeks off, and those 2 or 3 weeks that I'm off, I'll come and visit you. I'm like, okay, it's like, yeah, come and visit you, hang out with you, and stuff like that. So I think that it will work out. So I'm like, you think so? It's like, I mean, I think it would. So I remember, after I was done, talking to, Chloe Bailey, we did end up like having sex and making love. And I haven't had sex with Chloe Bailey in a long time. It has been a while since we actually had sex and stuff. And so Chloe Bailey was like, David, I talked to my sister Haley. I'm like, you did? She's like, yeah. And she said she still got feelings for you. And I told her that it's not fair to you because it's like you're back with him. You're with DDG. You went back to him. So what are you gonna play mind games with David? One minute you want to be with him, the next minute you don't. You want to go back to DDG. Like nobody has time for that. Like you. Why don't you just stay with him and let me be with David? Because I just don't think that's fair. So she was like, and then when she found out about the fucking cartoon series, when she found out and she seen a cartoon series on Peacock, she not even answering my phone calls. So now she's mad at me. I'm like, she is like, yeah, she pissed off at me. She was already pissed off at me about me, telling you how I felt and everything. But then that cartoon shit, that made her real pissed off at me even more. So she just definitely all the way mad. Like, she like, I ain't answering her phone calls. Fuck her. So, yeah, I tried to call her when the shit got released on Peacock a few hours ago. I tried to call her to warn her that it was coming. She did not answer her phone because the trailer was already on YouTube and stuff, on Peacock. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess you just gotta give her some time. She's like, David, I don't know about that because she do really like you, and I don't know. She feel like she said I portrayed her, and I just don't get how I did that. Like I gave you, like you were with David, y'all got together, and then you went back to your ex-boyfriend. So it's like, what the hell? Like I just don't get it. Like what did I actually do wrong? So you know what I mean? Like I just don't get it. I mean, I totally know that if you wanted to fuck my sister, she would definitely let you fuck. But what I'm saying is that ain't the point. The point is that I don't see how like I don't see how I did anything wrong. You know, I just don't get it. But she ain't answering the phone so we can talk about it. So it's like, all right, whatever. So now she mad at me. So I don't know when she gonna talk to me, David. So I'm like, y'all real close. So y'all like the Ziegler sisters. She's like, David, yeah, we are real close, but I don't know. I know in this situation, she ain't talking to me, and I'm the one making all the fucking moves. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I ended up making love to Chloe Bailey again. I couldn't really take her out on a date right now because I'm still getting used to the fact that my grandmother's back. My I haven't seen my grandfather in a long time, and now his ass in my damn life, and also my great great grandmother. She wasn't saying too much, but she was there. She was there. She was like really quiet, and she was really pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like they you know they were teenagers. What you expect? They wasn't all old and wrinkled. So I remember I'm like, all right, y'all, we y'all can come on, yeah, get the babies. I gotta make another stop. So my grandmother was like, "Is everything okay, grandson?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's good, grandma." I just had to talk to Chloe. She's like, "Excuse me, young lady, what's going on with your hair? Like, you okay? Look like a hurricane hit your hair." So she was like, "Okay, this is fucking weird. There's no way I'm having a conversation with a dead person. Okay, this is too damn creepy. I'm going in my room. David, shut my door behind you. This is too weird for me." So she go in her room or whatever like that. I'm like, Grandma, a lot of people not gonna understand this, okay? She's like, I understand, grandson. I get it. I'm like, all right, well, you can help me take the babies to the car. I gotta make another run. She's like, that's fine. So now y'all know the actress, the girl from Dog with a Blog, G. So I have dated her for a little minute, but I kind of like left her alone for a little while because she didn't do anything wrong. Oh yes, she did. She went on a vacation with her boyfriend, and yeah, talking about they were broken up, but she promised him the trip and all this bullshit. So I decided to go see her to check up on her because she been wanting to see me. So I go see her. It's like, you brought the baby. Who? David. Who's these people? I'm like, can we come in? She's like, yeah, you can come in, David. So I'm like, look, these my grandparents. She was like, your grandparents? So that would mean that they are your parents. Like that would mean that would be your mother's mother and hold on, that would be your mother's mother and father. Like these are her parents? I'm like, yeah. She's like, how? They're teenagers. I'm like, well, look, you might not believe me, but they're dead. They came back from the dead. So she's like, wait, you mean to tell me I'm looking at dead people? But you can't see ghosts. I'm like, that's what they tell you in fucking movies. You believe everything you see in fucking movies? So she's like, no. I'm like, all right then, that shit ain't real. This is real, right in front of your face. She's like, so you mean to tell me we can really see ghosts? I'm like, ain't you looking at it? So she's like, I'm like, now my grandmother, she the only one that could touch stuff because I put a device on it. She's like, holy, wait, yo, y'all kind of look like each other. Like, what? Wait. Oh my goodness, I definitely see the resemblance. Okay, I am thoroughly getting creeped out. Okay, yeah, this is too weird for me. So I'm like, it is like this is too weird for me. So I remember I go in the room with G. I'm like, my dog with a blog girl. She's like, oh, now I'm your dog with a blog girl. I'm like, yeah. She's like, David, you've been so mean to me. I'm like, no, I haven't. You've been mean to me. It's like, oh my God, how? I'm like, you went on that fucking vacation. You know what that did to my heart. It's like, oh, I broke your heart. I'm like, yeah, you did. It's like, oh, I broke your heart. I'm like, yeah, you broke my heart. It's like, okay, well, I'm not the one that got me pregnant. I'm like, okay, you still look pregnant. Yeah, you do. She's like, and you know you're the father. I'm like, I know I'm the father. It's like, so why would you leave me like that? I'm like, because. She's like, David, I found out I was pregnant while I was on that vacation with that boy. I'm like, all right, yeah, you did. She was like, like, and we wasn't doing anything. We didn't even have sex. I'm like, yeah, okay. She's like, you don't believe me. We did not have sex. And I mean, like, we really did not have sex. You can believe me or not, David, we didn't do anything. I keep telling you that we didn't do nothing. So I'm like, so why? She like, I promised him that trip when we was a couple. We planned it together as a couple, and I was like, you know what? We might as well just go ahead and just get this trip over with. We already had paid for the tickets and everything. So it wasn't no need to like waste that fucking money. So I just was like, you know what? We just might as well just go on this trip together, get it over with because it's no return fee. So we had to go together. It was no choice. I'm like, you did have a damn choice. She's like, well, what was that? What was that choice? I'm like, not to fucking go. So she's like, David, you know that I had to. I'm like, you didn't have to do shit. No one has to do shit that they don't want to. She's like, David, you are being so unreasonable right now. Because I didn't do anything wrong and you've been punishing me for too long now. I just don't like I don't deserve it. Like I've been a really good girlfriend to you. I'm like, it's like I don't know if I'm still your girlfriend. All these other girlfriends you've been dating lately. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? She was like, you already forgot about me. I'm like, I ain't forget about you, G. Can't forget about you, baby. He's like, oh, you can't? I'm like, no, I can't forget about you. He's like, why can't you? I'm like, cuz, I miss you. She's like, you miss me. You miss having sex with me. That's what you miss. I'm like, I miss that too. That's definitely at the top of the list. She's like, what else you miss, David? I'm like, I miss talking to you. She's like, you've been so mean to me. I'm like, I've been mean to you. Why do you always say that shit? She's like, because you do. You be so damn mean to me. Ever since that whole thing when I said I was going on a trip with my ex-boyfriend, you just was being mean to me, talking to me mean on the phone. Even when I send you nude pictures of me, like you still would be mean, like telling me that I need to put on some clothes, like making me feel like I'm not sexy. Like hurting my feelings. I'm like, I ain't never tell you to put on some damn clothes. Like, yes, you did. You did tell me that. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I probably said it because I was mad at you. She's like, you was mad at me. And I get why you're mad at me, David. I understand. I mean, I did do that. I pulled that shit at the last point. So, like, I pulled that shit at the last minute on you. And I should have never did that. That was wrong of me. I'm sorry. But, David, like, you have to believe me that I didn't do anything with him. If I did something with him, trust me, you would know. I'm like, so we, I mean, like, have y'all been talking? She's like, what, lately? I'm like, yeah, it's like, no, because he found out that I am not having his baby, and he found out that you got me pregnant. So yeah, we haven't been talking to each other, and he was like the only way that I would talk to you, even though I never said anything about getting back with him. But he was just like, the only way that I would consider getting back with you is if you get an abortion. And I was just like, oh, that ain't happening. So, yeah, we have definitely not been talking ever since that vacation. And that's been a while ago, like months ago. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, so, yeah, we definitely haven't been talking. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know because I miss my G. She's like, you miss me? I'm like, are you still my dog with a blog, girl? She was like, yes, David, I'm still your dog with a blog, girl. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Start taking no clothes off. She's like, I feel fat, David. I'm like, you do? She's like, yep, but you love it. You love having sex with me with my underwear on for some reason. I don't know why. Even before I got pregnant, you love. I don't know why you love girls in their panties. I don't know why. Is that a fetish for you? I'm like, what, a fetish for me? He's like, yeah, that see girls in their panties. I'm like, maybe it is a damn fetish. So me and the girl from Dog with a Blog made love and cut up because we haven't had sex. It's been a while since we made love and stuff. I would say a minute. It's been a long minute since we had cut up and stuff like that. So I remember, after I was dealing with, G from Dog with a Blog, I had got my car, my phone was ringing. It was Maddie Ziegler. I knew she was calling me to come and see her and stuff, but I had to bring some stuff to my wife, tnerra, and her friends, some orange juice and soup. I wanted, I wanted to make some soup for tnerra because I don't like them canned soups, them canned chicken noodle soups and stuff. I don't like them shits. I like to make soup from scratch because that way you know what's really in it. You know what I'm saying? So I told tnerra that I was gonna make her some soup and stuff, her and her friend. So I answer the phone. I'm like, who is this? She's like, Maddie Ziegler, your girlfriend? Where you at, David? I'm like, look, I gotta take care of my wife, tnerra, but I'm probably gonna see you later on tonight. So like, what's wrong with your wife, tnerra? I'm like, well, for starters, she's pregnant again, and she has the flu. Her and her friend, Jasmine. She's like, she has the flu while she's pregnant. I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh shit. Well, okay, so you gonna come after you done like taking care of your wife? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay. Well, look, don't bring them fucking germs in this house. Like, I ain't trying to get sick. I'm like, you ain't gonna get sick. It's like, I'm serious, David, so don't be kissing all over her sick ass face. I'm like, I'm not going, why would I be kissing my damn wife? She's like, because she's your wife? I'm like, yeah, but she got the damn flu. So she's like, all right, just don't bring none of that fucking shit in here. Cause I ain't trying to catch it. I ain't trying to get it. I'm like, Maddie, you not gonna get sick. It's like, all right, cause all it takes is one little germ. That's all it takes. I'm like, I know. And then you ain't gonna get it. If you was gonna get it, I would be like, I can't come and see you. I got you. She's like, just make sure you wash your ass before you come and see me. Like, get in the shower and change your clothes. So I'm like, all right, I can do that. She's like, all right, baby. So I go back, to my wife tnerra, bought her some orange juice and all that stuff. I'm like, baby, I'm gonna make you some soup. So it's like, you are, baby? I'm like, yeah, I'm making some soup and I'm gonna make your friend some soup too. So it's like, okay. So I remember, I make the soup. I bring the soup into her and her friend. Her friend was like, oh, this smells good. So I'm like, baby, get up. I'm like, lean up so I can feed this to you, baby. Come on, girls. You look, stop being dramatic. She's like, I am not being dramatic. I'm like, tnerra. She's like, I cannot move, David. I'm hurting. I'm like, okay. It's like, you gotta stop being so damn rough with me. We ain't fucking, I'm like, all right. She's like, damn it. Like, can you be gentle at least? Damn, David, I'm sick. I'm like, all right, I'm being gentle. It's like, what are you rushing me for? You in a rush to leave? I'm like, no. She's like, where's our daughters? I'm like, they in the other room. She's like, good. I don't want them around this shit. I'm like, they in the other room. They ain't gonna be nowhere around. She's like, good. So I'm like, tnerra, open your mouth. So it's like, I am opening my mouth, David. So she opened her mouth and, I'm feeding the soup to her. I gave her some medicine. And after I gave her the medicine was supposed to stop the aching, because when you got the flu, you definitely gonna ache. You gonna ache and all the stuff like that. So tnerra wanted to get out of the bed and we had went into this other room. It was like a lounge yard. Well, no, we went into this other room and it was full of like a whole bunch of pillows and stuff like that. I really don't know what this fucking room is, but I remember that Jenna Ortega decorated this room. So she had a whole bunch, it was like a whole bunch of big pillows and stuff like that. I don't know. But we were in that room. And tnerra was like, David, I know I can't hardly stand up. But I wanted to say I'm a little bit horny. I'm like, you are? It's like, yeah, but I know how you have sex. You have sex really, really rough. I'm like, yeah. It's like, but but I don't think my body can be able to handle the roughness. I'm like, so what are you saying? It's like if it's possible, if you can fuck me real slow, like do the whole fuck. I can't like you can't pound on it. Not like you normally do. I don't think my body can be able to handle that. I know it can't. But it can handle it like if you like slowly do it. So I'm like, do the whole thing. It's like, yeah. Like making love to your wife. I'm like, I mean, it's like David, you know you can't get sick. So stop thinking about you getting sick. You know you can't get sick. So I'm like, I mean, I know that, but it's like, David, can you please? I'm like, it's like, because David, I'm pregnant and you know that I'm like horny as hell. Like, I'm still wet as shit. I'm like, okay. It's like, and you just gave me some medicine and stuff. Even though I'm still, like, I still feel sick as shit. Like, I can feel the flu in my body, but the aching part kind of like stopped hurting. So, like, I still feel sick and drowsy and like weak as shit, but as long as the aching part is still kind of gone. So, I'm like, okay and you want me to do you this salad. She's like, David, no, I want you to make love to your damn wife. So I'm like, okay. She's like, I don't know what you fucking afraid for because you know you can't get sick. So me and my wife Tanera made love and we cut up and stuff like that, which was good. And you know, Tanera she wanted me to stay with her. She didn't want me to leave. She's like, go check on the babies and I'm gonna go get the covers. Cause we gonna have a lot more of that. That felt so good. I'm like, it did. Like, yeah, it took my mind off of me being sick. I'm like, it did. Like, yeah, I'll be back. So she goes in the room. Jasmine like, was y'all just in that other room fucking? She's like, yeah. It's like you got the flu. Why would he fuck you? Why you got the flu? So she's like, because I asked him. She's like, you asked him to fuck you? Are you on? You know how creepy that sounds? So she's like, what? Like he's my husband. And if you didn't forgot I am pregnant. That makes me horny. I can't help it. So she's like, oh, well, what are you doing with that big ass quilt? She's like, oh, we about to go back in the room. She's like, and do what? She's like, and fuck. So it's like, some more. It's like, yeah, it felt good. Look, usually he fucks me rough, but he's fucking me like he's slow fucking me, you know, like making love to me. And it's different. It feels actually really good. It's like, it don't feel good when he pounded on. She's like, oh, that feels real good too. But this one feels good too. So she's like, okay, so y'all like slow making love. It's like, well, yeah. So she's like, I mean, he kind of pounded on it a little fast, but I can handle it. So she's like, girl, his dick gonna be the death of you, girl. She's like, I guess it is, but you know what? I'm his damn wife, so I don't mind. So she come on in here, she bring the covers and stuff. She's like, did you check on the babies? I'm like, yeah, my grandmother and stuff is in there, my granddaddy. She is like, I cannot believe that they ass is here. You know how, I mean, that shit is so fucking weird. Like, your grandmother, mother, I mean, she was kind of talking and stuff, but she wasn't really saying anything. She just kind of was like looking at us. I'm like, she was like, yeah, I mean, she did ask us did we need anything. Not like her ass can get it because she a fucking ghost. But, you know, it was just weird. Like, it was just weird, David. I'm like, okay. You just probably gotta get used to that stuff. You getting ready for Paris though? You getting ready to go? She's like, yeah. Are you excited, David? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm excited. It's like, David, I know I ain't supposed to be doing this, but I love when we make love and stuff. I'm like, you do? It's like, yeah, of course. You know I love when you beat it up. So I'm like, oh, you do? It's like, mm-hmm. So we make love, and it was good, you know, because Tanera loved making love. She do, but I didn't think that she would want to make love while she's sick. I didn't think that she would want it, but you know, I mean, you never know what's going through a girl here. But she is pregnant, so it's a little bit different. I think if she wasn't pregnant, she probably wouldn't want to have sex until she feel better. But I think it's a little bit different when you're pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we in this room and she's just like all over me. I'm like, Tanera, you got your sick ass body all over me. She's like, David, you cannot get sick. You're good. If you could get sick, I would not be doing this stuff. You know I wouldn't. I would not be all over you because I wouldn't want my germs on you. Because I wouldn't want you to get sick. But I know you can get sick. So I remember she's like, what if I gave you head? I'm like, give me head. It's like, yeah, suck your dick. I'm like, to Nira, it's like, I suck your dick any other time. I'm like, that's where you don't got the flu. He's like, oh, so you don't want my mouth on it because I'm sick. I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, what, is other girls sucking your dick besides Jenna Ortega? I'm like, look, no. She's like, so why are you, why can't I suck your dick? I'm like, because, I don't want to get Jenna sick. She's like, I don't care about that bitch. I'm like, I know you don't care about her and she don't care about you. So I just remember she was like trying to do it, like put it in her mouth, but I wouldn't let her. And I don't know, we kind of got into a little argument about that. So, tnerra like, why won't you let me do it? So I'm like, tnerra, why do you want to do it so bad? She's like, I just want to. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I let her do it. And then, I came on her face and then we had sex again. But this time I beat it up from the back. And I did go a little faster than I was going before. And I kind of, see, that's why I didn't want to have sex with tnerra. Because I knew that I was going to forget that she had the flu. So, I kind of like forgot. And then I just went crazy. Started beating it up real fast or whatever. And then I had to call the nurses in there to check on her. They was like, she's okay, but she just passed out from you having sex with her so rough. She fine, she just sleeping. I'm like, she passed out. She's like, yeah, it was too much dick, and she ain't died nothing. She just passed out. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, you just was having sex with her too much. It was too much sex for her. So I'm like, okay. She's like, look, I get it, she's gonna want to have sex because she's pregnant, but you shouldn't be having sex with that girl. She got the flu. So I'm like, yeah, you right. So she's like, yeah, even if she wants it, you should be telling her no. Like wait till you get better. Cause see, look what just happened. The girl passed out as you were having sex with her. So I mean, I'm like, she wasn't passing out when we was having sex before. She's like, you probably wasn't having sex with her all rough all those times. You probably wasn't pounding on it hard enough. But this time, you said you was having sex with her from the back, and it was like you forgot that she had the flu. That's probably why she passed out. Cause when somebody is sick, they already dizzy. You're like their head is already spinning. So it's like you pounding on it, you giving her like more headaches because her head is shaking and moving around and stuff. So I'm like, I get what she's saying. It's like, so yeah, she probably just passed out from all the excitement. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's like she gonna wake up. She not dead or nothing. So I remember she did end up waking up. She's like, David, what happened? I'm like, you passed out as I was fucking you from the back. It's like, I did. I passed out for real. Like I really passed out. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I told you not to fuck me so rough, David. I told you that I couldn't handle it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot that you were sick. See, that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid that I was going to forget. She was like, I knew you was kind of going to forget too. I'm like, she's like, but it's my fault. I asked for it, David. Like, I asked for it and, you deliver it. So it's like, it's not really your fault, David. It's cool. I'm like, it is like, yeah. So she's like, I mean, but how did I pass out? I'm like, well, you were moaning pretty loud and then you just passed out. She's like, I was moaning. I'm like, yeah, you always moan. She's like, but like, how long was I moaning before I passed out? Like, how long was you having sex with me from the back before I did it? Like, passed out. So I'm like, it was a good. I was almost at the hour mark. Like, I was almost there. She's like, did you come? I'm like, actually, I didn't come. Well, I think I did come. I mean, you passed out. I think I was still kind of beating it up and still. She's like, I mean, that doesn't consider rape, David. Even though I passed out and you were still like beating it up. Did you come? Did you make yourself come? Did you pleasure yourself? I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, as long as you did that, that's cool. I mean, did I come? I'm like, well, you did come. It's like, well, that's fine too. I don't consider that rape because number one, I'm your wife. Number two, we were having sex. So, I mean, like, as long as you made yourself come and you pleasured yourself, I mean, that's like, I mean, I'm cool with that. But maybe let's try something different. Let's not let you fuck me from the back until I get better. So I'm like, okay, it's like, let's just fuck from the front for a little while, you know, because from the front you can actually do it real slow and I can stay awake. So I'm like, okay, it's like, but if you do what you just did, I'm probably gonna end up passing out again. So I'm like, okay, it's like, yeah, this flu shit ain't no joke. So I'm like, so is your friend ready to go to Paris too? She's like, she ready, but I can tell she kind of scared. Like, she's scared. I'm like, but ain't she a grown girl? It's like, yeah, she grown. But, you know, she ain't never really been to Paris. You know, so this gonna be her first time going. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm nervous too, David. I ain't never really been to Paris before. I'm like, never been to Paris before. It's like, David, I've been to different states, but I have never been in, like, I never went to Paris before. Like, I never stayed in Paris before. I'm like, okay, so this is gonna be a different scenery from you. You know, it's like it's gonna be a whole damn atmosphere, a whole new different atmosphere. Um, you said we're gonna be living on a ranch. So how big is the ranch? I'm like, it's 100 acres. She's like, it's 100 acres. I'm like, yeah, it's like that's a big, that's like a whole damn community. That's like a city. I'm like, yeah. She's like, and all of that is ours. I'm like, yeah. She's like, and it's a farm and everything. I'm like, yep, all of it, the whole nine. She's like, so what do you actually got in that ranch mansion? Cause you said it wasn't decorated. So what? It don't have no furniture. So I'm like, tnerra. It got a little bit of furniture in there. She's like, it do. Okay, I guess I'll have to see when we get there what to get. Do they got? Is it beds there? I'm like, I had the beds taken out because I didn't want to sleep in the beds. Like, you never know who was actually sleeping in them damn beds. She was like, yeah, you right. So, yeah, I'm like, you know, I had those beds taken out. There is no beds in there. She's like, well, we're going to have to order some damn beds because, you know, we're going to need beds, not just for me, but for the damn babies. So I'm like, okay. She's like, David, you going, since you know the address, you do know the address to that fucking ranch house, do you? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, but since you know the damn address, you gonna be the one that's gonna call for them damn beds and have them getting sent out there. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I mean that the beds need to be there before we get there. That's what I mean. So I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, so you on top of that? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm on top of it. It's like, David, you need to be on top of that. I'm like, I am. I know we need beds to sleep on. It's like we need quilts too. I'm like, we got all that here. It's like, oh, David, we not taking that shit with us. I'm like, we not. It's like, no, we not. Because first of all, we can bear all that clothes that we're gonna be taking. We're not gonna have time to be taking fucking quilts with us. So I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna have time for? It's like, David, you know exactly why I'm saying that shit. You don't have no fucking quilts or nothing there. Nothing. I'm like, no, it's like, so we gonna have to go to fucking Wal. They got a Walmart in Paris. Do they got a Walmart in Paris or a Target in Paris? I'm like, I don't think they got a fucking Walmart in Paris. I don't know. She's like, David, how the fuck did you buy a damn ranch and you don't know what the fuck is out there? So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, David, all your answers is I don't know. So how long was you out there? I'm like, I mean, I was filming something out there and I just happened to buy a ranch while I was out there. It's like, so you bought a ranch out there, but you don't know what the fuck is out there. I'm like, I didn't really fill the whole place out. I did what I had to do and I left. So she was like, how the fuck you eat? I'm like, I had a chef there, a personal chef. She's like, oh, so I guess she was going to the market and stuff. I'm like, yeah. So she's like, oh, all right, I believe you, David. All right. I'm like, look, I'm sorry I don't have all the answers for you, but I'm gonna be able to fill the whole damn purse out. We'll do it together, me and you and the baby. She's like, okay, that sounds like a date. Filling out the whole purse. I like that. Okay, yeah, we can do that together. Looking, going into different stores together. I like that. I'm like, okay, it's like, yeah, then you can finally have your answers of everything, cause you ain't no shit. So She's like, I'm asking you. You just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, how the hell you buy a damn ranch and don't know shit? Like, I'm like, look, I buy mansions and ranches in different states, and a lot of times I don't be there that long. I just have them just in case if I go out there, I got somewhere to stay. I don't really like staying in hotels like that. She was like, I understand. I'm like, I like to stay in my own place, in my own bed. Plus, I don't like to be like hassled by my fans. And if I go into a hotel, there's no telling what's gonna be waiting for me when I get in that fucking door. She was like, yeah, them bitches can break into your room, get into your shower, sleep in your fucking closet and shit. I'm like, yeah, it's like, and your fans are that damn creepy that they probably would just do that shit. So I'm like, yeah, they would. So I remember me and tnerra did make love, and which was good. And tnerra just wanted me to stay with her. She didn't want me to leave, and I understand. I mean, I am my husband. I don't want her to feel a certain way, so I stayed with her, and she kind of like balled up like a little baby, laying on my chest and stuff. And she was still, sick, not feeling good. I asked her, did she want some more soup? She was like, David, that soup was really good. What you put in that shit? That was some really good soup. I'm like, yeah, do you want some more? She was like, actually, I do want some more. I'm like, she's like, yep, I do. But I was thinking, should I eat it with crack? I don't want no fucking crackers. I ain't no white person. I'm like, you sure you don't want no crackers? Because, I mean, I can give you the crackers. She's like, nah, David, I don't want no fucking crackers. Fuck the crackers. I'm like, okay, so you just want the soup. She's like, yeah, I just want the damn soup. What am I, a white person? I don't eat no damn, yeah, I mean, I fuck with white people, don't get me wrong, but I ain't eat no damn crackers. So I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, I don't need no crackers with no soup. I eat it just the way it is. So made her some more soup, and she definitely ate that shit. She ate it, and then she fell asleep or whatever. But I had to stop the episode because I didn't really do anything much but just be with my wife tnerra because she didn't want me to leave and stuff. And I know that feeling, when you're sick and you want somebody, to be there while you sick. So I was like, I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here, with my wife and take care of her. You know, my damn daughters in the other room, my grandparents, and everybody was tripping when they seen my grandparents. Everybody, they like, God damn, y'all look alike. Like, what the hell? Everybody can't believe it. But my grandmother, she was the first one that came to see me. And it kind of freaked me out the first time I saw her. I was just like, who the hell are you? And then she told me who she was. And we built a relationship. Then my dad was God. He made her my guardian angel and all this stuff. And yeah, it is what it is. But I'm going to stop this episode here. I try to get as much as I can on here, but I'll holler at y'all later. And, thugging and everything and deuces. you know, when I look at you, you already know just how much I love you, son.